PH Opera's future is bright and Noli Me Tangere is proof. This is already the third time I am watching this, the Philippines' first full-length opera, first produced on stage in 1957. Jose Rizal's 1887 revolutionary classic novel Noli Me Tangere was transposed into opera form, with music by national artist Felipe Padilla de Leon and libretto by national artist Guillermo Tolentino. The first time, I watched it in University of the Philippines Diliman back in 2012. Then, I was also able to watch a new production in Resorts World Manila in 2014. This year, after being performed in New York and Washington, D.C. by J&S Productions Incorporated. Producers Edwin Josu and Jerry Seibel, Noli Me Tangere, the opera returns to the cultural center of the Philippines, CCP, at the main Tingaling Nicanarabaydo, just in time for the CCP's 50th anniversary. All Filipinos should know the story by heart, of Crisostomo Ibarra coming home after a 7-year sojourn in Europe to build a school in honor of his father and marry his beloved Maria Clara, only to clash with the vile machinations of Padre Damaso to thwart all his well-laid plans. Act 1 covered the events from the arrival of Ibarra up to the part when Ibarra attacks Padre Damaso with a knife. After the 15-minute intermission, Act 2 covered the events following the excommunication of Ibarra to the deaths of Sisa and Elias. The libretto was in Grand Poetic Filipino. Most of the dialogue were sung through opera style, with very occasional spoken lines. The lyrics, with English translations, were projected on supertitles above the proscenium to help us understand the words better. This device was of course limited when the songs were sung by duets or trios, when characters were singing different lines in simultaneous counterpoints. But ironically, those are the times we need to see the lyrics more, since we can all see the lyrics. It was impressive that I did not notice anyone flub their lines throughout the show. During the preview night when we watched, the central couple of Crisostomo Ibarra and Maria Clara were played by Namryu, Nival and Nerissa Dewan. From the excellent singing of the whole cast, Nival and Dewan really stood out with their very strong and solid operatic singing voices. Nival's tenor was full and soaring in his many powerful solos. Dewan's dramatic soprano was beautifully flawless in arias like Kay Tamizang Bihay. Ivan Nuri, whom I saw as Ibarra the previous 2 times I had seen this show, and Bianca Lopez, coloratura soprano soloist from the Philippine Madrigal Singers, alternate in these roles. As with the previous times I've seen this opera, the crowd favorites were the tragic characters of Sisa and her 2 children Basilio and Crispin. This night, Sisa was played by Bernadette Mamalag, who had the physical fragility and the acrobatic vocal ability required by this role, especially with her feature Daria at Tangabi ni Sisa. Basilio's plaintive solo Jising Na, Oanan Ko is always the most tear-jerking number as ever, as sung by Mari Yabjoko. Cute little Santino Juan Santiago played the ill-fated younger brother Crispin. Other vocal standouts in the cast were the powerful baritone Nils Emerson Flores as the sinister and depraved Padre Damaso, the smiling Miguel Espiritu as the affable Capitan Tiago, the classy Creason Manny Quintan as the delightfully old-fashioned Tia Isabel, and the lovely rare Jairzel Columna as Victoria, the subject of a happy battle of the sexes during the outdoor picnic. Ronaldo Villaurruela Urquez alternates as both Padre Damaso or Capitan Tiago in selected shows. The other members of the cast were Josleo Logdut, Elias, Greg Abelardo de Leon, Piloso Potasio, Mia Bolanos, Doña Victorina, Oliver Pineda, Tini Andikvara, Jose Mari Javato, Padre Salvi, Charina Elthea Balmores, Sanan, Micah David J. Gallen, Andon, Thomas Vertusho, Albino, Timothy Racho, Alfrez, Russell Clemeno, Don Filippo, and Lawrence Edward Sarando, Linners. The ensemble includes Roxanne Abul, Naomi Jaron, Eden Laura Stumlau, Sheila Gramo, Mavo Bautista, Crisco, Chrysal Buesa, Katrina Marsunga, Angeli Benapeo, El Tuasan, Ariel Forns, Via Villasi, Mariflo Modilla, Ero Serrat, Kevin Chin, Michael Del Rosario, Charlene Ramos, and Dot Bilsa. This 2019 production is co-directed by Jerry Seibel and Jose Jeffrey Camanag. The live orchestra is led by Maestro Hermenegildo Reinra. Those Filipina gowns worn by Maria Clara and Tia Isabel were magnificent. No expense was spared in their execution. Dennis Marzigan did the lighting design, while TJ Ramos did the sound engineering, and the microphones were all working perfectly. Alan Della Rama was responsible for the graphic and video designs on the huge LED walls which serve as scenic backdrops for the play. We were brought inside the opulent living room of Capitan Tiago's house with the grand chandelier and into the gardens outside bedecked with bright pink bougainvillea blooms. During the scenes of the picnic, the sky turned from the orange of sunrise to bright blue of midday. The struggle with the crocodile was depicted by video. The interior of Maria Clara's room was represented with Capa's windows. We see Padre Damaso in anguish in darkened cloisters with a giant crucifix hanging behind him. The effect of the final conflagration was also achieved on these walls. The rich music and libretto of this opera had already endured more than 60 years, and we can certainly hear why. Given the proper attitude and guidance, the younger generations can still very much connect with the story. Given the tweaks of modern technology, the show can still appeal to all ages with a current sense of cultural aesthetics. It was very heartening to see and hear a very deep pool of young talent when it comes to classical singing. Watching this show, I can foresee a very brilliant future for opera singing in our country. Noli Me Tangere. The opera runs at the Tangalang Nicolas Abrado of the Cultural Center of the Philippines until March 10th only. This review was originally published in the author's blog, Fred said.